in the spirit realm, and the evil coming from these things was so bad, even my spirit body couldn't handle it. That's how bad it was. My spirit body could not handle this evil, and I became stiff as a board, which meant I stopped screaming. And that was very bad. The instant I stopped screaming, 3 of them ran up to me so fast. And again, I'm seated, and just in case too, being in a seated, more comfortable position while you're experiencing torments unspeakable is yet another form of torment, by the way. I'm seated and I can't go anywhere. So there's 1 in front of me, 1 to my left, 1 to my right. The 2 on my right and left, they grab my wrists and they jerk my hands up in the air. In hell, you cannot fight back. You have no strength whatsoever. Imagine not sleeping for an entire month. For 1 month, not even 1 second of sleep. And for that month, no food. And for that month, no water. That's how I felt in hell. They jerked my hands up and I could do nothing. And then the 1 in the middle, suddenly it had a wooden plank in its hands. And it slammed the plank down on my lap. And then when I looked back up to it, it suddenly had a nail in one hand, or nails in one hand, and a hammer in the other. And I instantly knew this was pure mockery of Jesus. The 2 forced my hands down on the plank, and the 1 in the middle, it puts a nail on my finger, and it begins driving the hammer like this, just smacking it. And the first hit of the nail went right through my finger. The second hit pretty much cracked it, and my finger went off to the side. And then the third hit bent the nail over. And then from there, it didn't care if it was hitting nails or smashing my fingers. And it was just going back and forth. And its head was back like this, and it was cackling. Like this wild, insane cackling noise, just hitting like this. And suddenly I could feel the pain again. And I began screaming again. It felt like lightning bolts were going up and down my arms. And I have no idea. You're so desperate. You're so desperate. I remembered I looked to the demon at my left, and I was about to beg it for mercy, even though I knew it was a complete waste. But it was all I could do is just beg it for some kind of mercy. And when I saw it, I suddenly saw it in its full manifestation. It was no longer a black shadow. And it was absolutely horrible. It was just the most horrible entity I've ever seen. The best I could, because I'm an artist, right? I write music, I draw. If it's artsy, I do it. And I've had people like, could you draw it? I'm like, I could, but I don't want to. I don't want to entertain them at all. But it looked like part man, part wolf, part bear, and part pig or hog. If you took all of those and mashed it into an entity, its skin was just rotting and disgusting yellow, and its teeth were just razor sharp. They were all crooked and nasty, but razor sharp. And then its eyes were like a lizard, but they were blood red. And it had a black cloak on too. And as I'm screaming and I'm looking at it with eyes just, trying to beg for mercy, when I started screaming again, I saw the demon's head go back and its eyes became euphoric. And I could tell it was high on my pain.